So now we will spend a few minutes for the last session, which is the Q&A session and the closure. Since we have exceeded the time, we will try to be short in this session. There were several questions that were answered by the presenters at the Q&A chat box, and you may find the answers that are written at the chat box. Please feel free, since the presentations and this video, this recorded video, will be uploaded at the channel of the Hellenic Association of Earthquake Engineering in YouTube. Feel free to pose any question you want to the presenters by email to them or to the organizing committee. We will be happy to answer to the questions even after the webinar. The excellent presentations from all the presenters and the members of the reconnaissance teams, I think that summarized clearly all the geological, the geotechnical, and the structural observations. And of course, as has been already said, we will provide more detailed discussion of the results of our observations in the technical report that will be published shortly at the end of the month and will be available at the website of the Hellenic Association of Earthquake Engineering. So in order to summarize in bullets, what are the findings and what are the lessons learned by this field mission? The most important findings were that we observed ground failures, settlements, and tilts that were not observed in this extent at other earthquake events in this area. We observed structural systems that didn't work well, like flat slab systems that Professor Moretti mentioned. And we tried to explain the reasons why, because we had no horizontal ties as Eurocode prescribes, because we have not shear walls as we should. And we have seen all the inadequacies in material strengths, in reinforcement of beams and columns. We have also observed the importance of infills in the structural performance of moment-resisting frames and how important it is to have the connection of the frame to the infill. And after all these observations, what are the lessons that we learned, that we learned after this mission? And that we should communicate all this that we observed with the engineering community. The first thing is that we should highlight the need for the quality control and for the material strength and for the material properties according to the current code provisions and all the detailing that is prescribed by the codes. That is a very important issue that should be considered in every new constructed structure. The other lesson is that we should study in detail the structural systems that had a poor seismic performance in this seismic region, like the flat slab systems that were shown earlier. And we should try to explain the reason why they performed poor. And the third critical issue is to point out what we can do in order to have more resilient societies. We should all, in both countries, proceed with pre-earthquake assessment. We have the codes, the Eurocodes, and in Greece we have the codes, the cadet and canopé codes for the reinforced concrete structures and masonry structures. We have qualified earthquake engineers. We have the tools So we have all the weapons to build more resilient societies and protect our building stock. So we'll close with this. I want, on behalf of the organizing committee, to thank once again the Technical Chamber of Greece for giving us the opportunity to visit the area and see all these pictures that maybe in our lifetime we will not see them again. I would like to thank the organizers, Dr. Papachristidis and Professor Sektos, for organizing this difficult mission. I will close saying that that in both countries, both Greek and Turkish engineers, will hopefully continue this fruitful cooperation towards our communities, to have safer communities. Thank you all for your presence here today, and apologies for that we exceeded the initial program, the time. May you have a great evening, and we will be in contact for further details regarding the report, the technical report.